Bloody Mary Podcast.
Welcome to the Bloody Mary Podcast, where we talk about all things horror while drinking a Bloody Mary. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tami, and we are totally married. We got our Bloody Marys, and tonight we are doing a Fright fight, battling it out to win our hearts between My Bloody Valentine versus the remake.
Yeah, we're doing the My Bloody Valentines around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We don't have many Valentine's horror to, it's like this or Valentine.
Right.
And there's a couple others floating around there, but there's not too many.
No,
I
think...
The new Hard Eyes that came out in theaters, that's new.
You add that to the list,
Yep.
but I mean, you would think there would be more because hearts and blood and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, so spoilers, we're going to spoil these movies. If you haven't seen the original or the remake, they've been out for quite some time.
40 to 20 years.
Yeah, so...
So if you haven't hopped on that train yet, then
Right?
stop right now and go watch them.
Yeah, and while you're at it, you can like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, comment away.
Share it.
We got merch and an Amazon wish list.
Yeah, we do.
You go to www.bloodymarypodcast.com and check it out. We have a lot of stuff on Amazon wish list that we could use that could help support us in the channel. Small things, big things. Check it out. If you're feeling, giving on this Valentine's holiday, just go ahead.
Show us some love.
Yeah. So the original versus the remake. We'll go through the pros and cons of each.
Okay.
And then after that, we will say which one is the champion, the better film.
Yeah.
So let's start with the original, made in 1981. My Bloody Valentine. If you haven't seen it, a decade-old folktale surrounding a deranged murderer killing those who celebrate Valentine's Day turns out to be true to legend when a group defies the killer's order and people start turning up dead. It's a killer miner.
Yeah.
It's a mining town, and there's an incident happens, and someone snaps and kills everyone on Valentine's Day. So in the original, you're not supposed to have a Valentine's Day dance or party?
No, because that's what happened. Like, everyone was having a dance and a party while he was
while they were being trapped in the mine. Yeah.
And then he was a cannibal. And
and then he was down there for how many days? 6?
Something like that?
Not that long, and the fucker was already looking weird and eating people.
Yeah, he ate everyone.
Yeah,
killed them all.
I guess if you're down there for and you have no sense of time, and I'm assuming they were already dead. Or maybe he killed him. Who knows?
Think he killed him.
Yeah?
I think he killed him. Yeah.
Cool.
And then what the place is called, St. Valentine's?
It's Valentine's Bluff or something?
Valentine's Bluff, yeah.
Yeah. What are the pros of this for you? What did you like about it?
I liked the whodunit because I really didn't know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job at being who is it? You know, especially sometimes the older ones, you kind of really know, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But this one, I was I have absolutely no idea who it is. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah. And for 1981, that was pretty good. I like the design of the killer. It's pretty simple, but it's a miner with a pickaxe. I was thinking, God, maybe we should do that for Halloween. I'll dress up as what's his name?
Harry Warden.
Warden Harry?
Harry Warden.
Harry Warden. Warden Harry.
Warden Harry Ward.
The Harry Ward. Yeah.
Yes.
His design is cool, and I agree. I think the first one has such a big cast too.
Oh, it does have a big
that
cast.
There's so many people it could be.
And there's a lot of fun kills in that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was paced well. And it, my con is that the one lady's 43 and she looks like she's 60 and I'm almost 43 and that's some bullshit.
Yeah, we're watching it. I'm looking it up. I'm like, you're the same age as Miss Mabel, the old lady who runs the laundromat, who looks
like she's in her 60s.
Yeah, well,
I
mean, it has to do with the clothing too. She's got the perm. She's got an old lady. She's dressed like everyone's grandma.
Yeah, but I feel in 81, was definitely a time where you hit 40, you're about to die as a woman, and you need to look like an old lady.
But also, they did do close-ups of her, and she did look significantly older.
I just, like, maybe
There's
it's
something in the water.
our generation, we tend to look a little younger, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, in the 80s, when you're 43, you look 60, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But also, I'm kind of happy that I'm almost 43
Yeah.
and I don't look 60, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
The pros are kind of the same. It's like a cool whodunit. I really like how far they went with set deck and making this look like Valentine's Day. Like nearly every scene you saw, like the whole town is decorated, businesses are decorated. They really went all out to make sure that you know it's Valentine's Day. I thought that was really cool. I do think that it's an interesting setting. It's kind of the same premise of kids go party. These aren't kids too. These are adults. These are like,
early 20s.
This is like, what the director or the writer said that he wanted to do something that wasn't a teen slasher. He wanted to do like a working class, young group. But they eventually go to the mines to party as opposed to you go to a house to party or you go here to party.
Right.
It's kind of the same beats. It's just a different location. So it was a dirty, grimy mine. And that was fun.
That was fun.
I like that. I did like the whodunit aspect of it. I thought it was filmed really well. I think a lot of shots look really beautiful. Negatives, maybe not a negative so much, but this is one of those movies I'll throw on in the background throughout my life while I'm doing things.
Right.
And it just kind of plays, and there's so many, and I've seen it many times, and I still, when we watched it, I couldn't remember who the killer was, because a lot of the cast members kind of blend together for me. I don't know what that is. It's kind of like the I Know What You Did Last Summer syndrome, where I'm trying to think of the why, and I still can't. It's so weird to me. It's like so convoluted. I know who the killer is, and I know what you did last summer, but who did it, and why, and what was going on? Kind of the same deal. And there's moments too that are integral plot points and plot reveals, but they last like a couple seconds and they're gone.
Right.
So if you blink and miss it, you miss like the killer's motive.
Right. You do,
And if you blink and miss it, you miss the cannibal part, because I don't remember that at all. And I was thinking about this. Well, maybe it's because when I like really watched it, I saw this on cable when I was younger, and maybe they edited some of that shit out.
They 100% edited that shit out.
And so there's some things that watching it, I just don't remember that when we watched it. But I know I've seen it. I know it plays in the background quite often when I'm doing stuff.
Right.
Other negatives, I guess that we didn't get a true sequel. Like, it would have been cool to have a part 2.
Yeah, because
and a
like,
part 3. You know,
the killer is not dead.
Like, this would have been fun to do a Friday the 13th type thing where they made a lot of these.
It would be, because like you said, it's a fun character design, like killer design. It's simple. And the killer didn't die.
Yeah.
Like, he ran away all psycho.
His
like,
arm was
like,
cut off.
Didn't he all of a sudden he get like turned psycho,
Yeah,
and you're
he's
like,
like,
and then leaves.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, he held that in for a while.
Yeah. But I did do a little bit of, reading and stuff. And the director, he did write a script for a part 2. It's like Return of the Miner that never got made. And I think there were a bunch of other script pitches. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, like, he wrote a really good sequel and the studio bought it and then shelved the script and then made the remake instead.
That's disappointing.
So there's
actually.
like a lot of scripts out there, and I think I don't know, like the director or the writer has done interviews over the years talking into more detail about like what they would have done, all this kind of stuff, and it sounds really cool. Like, they wanted to kind of go back and do like a more teenage thing. They have the writer has a lot of good ideas. They just never came into the light. But there's hope that maybe someday they'll do a true sequel. I mean, why not? Everything else is getting like rebooted and stuff.
Rebooted and requels and all sorts of shit. And why not? It's a fun premise.
Yeah.
It's a simple design. It's a different location. I mean, a mine is there. That adds extra layers to it too, being underground and all that shit.
Hey, Cineverse, Screenbox. I mean, you go ahead and pick this one up. Is
Yeah.
that they're doing? I think they're doing Silent Night, Deadly Night with the Terrifier team.
Right.
Do this one
Let's
next.
get some Bloody Valentines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be cool. Do you have any cons with this one? What do you, aside from the old lady being your age?
No, actually, I really enjoyed because I hadn't seen this one.
Yeah.
Because I saw the remake, and
Yeah.
like you having this one on in the background, like I've fallen asleep to the remake multiple times.
Yeah.
Or it's been on in the background for me. So I'm like, oh yeah, I've never seen the first one, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was paced well.
You know what else happened when we watched this one? There's a whole scene when they're making hot dogs, and you're like, oh my God, I want hot dogs.
I know. I was like, okay, God, this weekend can I have hot dogs?
So now we're having hot dogs tonight.
If you care to know, I saw this movie and I was like, hot dogs.
Yeah, she saw this movie and she's like, I'm craving hot wieners in my mouth.
I'm gonna need hot dogs and chips. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Wieners on it.
She just got that.
Oh, I got it.
Whatever. Well, let's move on to the remake.
All right.
The remake came out in 2009, and this one is in 3D. And if you're watching, I have the DVD, and it still have sealed the 4-pack of 3D glasses.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to watch this bad bitch in 3D. I don't.
No?
No.
Not even a little?
I got a lot of negatives with this one.
I know you do. I see you're just over here writing like, and you're like, grown.
Well, go ahead. Well, let's start with the positives. What do you like about this movie?
I do like some of the gore and the kills.
Mm-hmm.
There's some fun kills, I think. I always like seeing Jensen on screen, even if it's not his best performance. I still like seeing Jensen Ackles. So
Even if it's not this is his worst performance. He's awful in this movie.
but look at his face. That's all. I just need to look at his face. It's fine.
Yeah, he's terrible. He definitely got better as he.
Progressed.
Yeah. This just was not. Yeah. Go ahead, pros. I'm holding myself in.
You are holding
I
yourself
do have some
in.
pros. I do have some. Well, gee, I wonder which one's gonna win.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's some fun things about it, but yeah. What about you? What are your pros?
Your pros are like his face, and there's some cool kills.
There's some
my
cool-
pros is I think there's a sequence in here that is the best sequence of both films, and it is a sequence with a midget and a naked lady, and that sequence is great. Oh, you can't say midget anymore, huh?
No,
little feller, little gal,
person.
little person. Okay, sorry.
Smaller stature.
So there's a chick who's just her entire scene. She's buck naked.
She's butt
running
naked.
around, titties out. The whole action sequence, getting chased, all that stuff. And then there's my favorite kill in the whole thing is when the miner kills the little person. He just takes his pickaxe and straight to the ceiling. And that was so awesome. That whole sequence was great. It has one of my best lines in the whole thing towards the end. When she has her gun on both of them, like, who do I shoot? Who's the killer? And the guy, just shoot us both.
Just shoot us both. Just fucking shoot us both.
It felt like it was really funny in the moment, and also it was really good of like, just fucking killed this movie.
Yeah.
Just shoot me.
Just kill.
Why am I in this? Just shoot us.
Little Keir
Shoot
Smith.
us both.
Little baby Keir Smith. Yeah.
I feel like that might have been an improv line, or like,
Just shoot us both.
or shooting the rehearsal, and he's like, "Fuck, I just shoot us both."
Just shoot us both.
We've been on set for 20 fucking hours. Shoot us both, and they kept it in the cut. Those are my two pros.
All right, let's get to your cons. Because I know
everything.
you have a whole list.
Everything. I mean, you just take a pick, like bad acting all around. I think this is like this is not what I wanted from a remake or a sequel. I think this is one of the worst horror sequels out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is also in the craze, right in the middle of the 3D craze that we got in like the mid to late 2000s for some reason. There was a Saw 3D. There was this 3D. Like, they 3D'd everything after Avatar.
Right.
And this is bad. There's like, all of the kills are pretty much CG.
Yeah.
And if there's like practical, the only thing I did like were the staged deaths. Like you see the bodies in the aftermath. That was real, and that was pretty good. But all the kills are so digital, and obviously 3D. And then there's this one scene where a character has his gun, and he's like, he's
just
like
pointing. It's just so we can have
he's like
3D
sweeping
moment.
it back and forth in silence, so we can get that in 3D. And why?
Right.
I don't. So stuff like that was pretty stupid. It's pretty much in your face who the killer is, at least for me.
Yeah, there was no, like, in the first one where you're like, who actually is it?
Yeah.
This one you're like, no, I know who it is.
It's who it is.
Yeah. It is who it is. And their whole, like, trying to make you think it's the other person.
Which doesn't work because that person, they already make you establish that he's a jerk and he's cheating on his wife and all this stuff. But that's usually not going to end up being your killer if you know that stuff up front.
Right. Which I think that they tried to, because in the original, Axel, that character, was the killer.
Yeah.
And in this one, Axel, not the killer.
No.
But they wanted you to, like, think he was.
Yeah. And there was a waste of, I really like Tom Atkins. And I remember the first time I saw this is Tom Atkins and this other older actor, the guy who was doing the shotgun. I was hoping they would get more screen time. And I was hoping it'd be like Tom Atkins, because in the original My Bloody Valentine, that the mayor and the sheriff had quite a bit of screen time.
Yeah, they were pretty in on it. And
so I was hoping like we would get like Tom Atkins on the case. And
we got him for a hot minute, not really on the case.
No, and then and they all died.
Yeah, they all died.
Yeah.
And basically, he didn't start out as a killer. But because Harry Warden did kill, one of my favorite parts of this movie is the beginning in the hospital scene. And it's not like him killing, it's like you said, the aftermath. And seeing the aftermath was good. But basically he had like a mind, like he fucking Fight Clubbed it, basically. He Fight Clubbed it, but nowhere near as cool or as good or works as anything close to actual Fight Club. It's like My Bloody Valentine Fight Club. Yeah. And it didn't work.
No. Another thing that I caught, and I was like squinting and looking, I'm like, is this like a lot of set deck and was white-ish spray paint, if you notice. So if you notice his vehicle, there's like a white, or it's kind of covered in like white or gray sprays. And then I was like, okay, that's weird. But then there was like a building where the building had like white or gray sprays on it.
What's on the building and the cars that they had to spray over, right?
Well, no, I think it was like to add texture, but it was really obvious. Yeah. This movie sucks. It's one of the worst remakes. But there's some fun trivia with the actual DVDs of the My Bloody Valentines I have. God, it was like 15 plus years ago. The B Movie Film Vault, that's a website, horror movie website, did a contest for send in your love letter to horror films in any media format. So I shot like a short film video of me like being chained up to a radiator, forced to read like love poetry. I submitted that and then I won. Jordan over at B Movie Film Vault, I think he's, I've sent him everything that I've done with my film work since then, and he's done some like cool reviews of my stuff. But I remember way back then, I won these and a shirt and stuff, so that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I have like a fun memory attached to these movies in that regard. The sequel, it's not good.
It's not even a sequel. It's just they tried to remake it, and they bring parts of like, because now that I've seen the first one, I'm like, okay, there is that washing, like the dryer sheet,
the dryer thing,
like little nods to the original, which was kind of fun to see since I hadn't seen the first one, but really I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, it will still be one I probably throw on to sleep because screams and whatnot. But yeah. Cool. So who wins the fight? Who wins the fight? Do you guess?
Who do you think it is? Well, it's the original.
It is.
It's the original for sure.
It holds up really well too. Like there's some where you're like, no.
I mean, this isn't my favorite slasher, but it's a fun one to throw in the mix, right? It's a fun one.
Holiday slashers.
I think like Quentin Tarantino said it's his favorite slasher film, which is interesting. I'd be curious as to why. It does break the mold. I do like the settings. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really surprised that they haven't done like a true reboot or something with this one, or a true sequel. God, I wonder if, I'm sure some of the actors are still alive. You can get them in some smaller roles, but I would really like to see a legitimate, good attempt at doing a remake or a sequel with this. So like a spiritual, like what they did with the Candyman, right?
Yes.
So
Candyman remake.
we're watching that, and at first it's like this isn't a sequel. We just thought it was a remake, but the reveal is, it is a sequel to like the original. So something like that could be a lot of fun, or doing a Scream 5, do that, bring in some people, and it's like continues. I don't know how you do it, but
I think it's...
Well, that one guy is still alive. I mean, he would be an old armless man.
Right. But I still think it has, like you said, it's a good... It would be good to see something better, or a sequel, or something, because it is, we need more Valentine's horror, period.
Yeah.
And it's got a good premise, and it's got a good killer design.
Yeah.
And why are we not... We're remaking all sorts of stupid shit.
Yeah.
Why not this?
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm getting at is I think I'll take whatever it is, as long as there's like care put into it and it's done right.
Yeah.
So bring in the original writer, look at some of his ideas, sit down with some new younger writers, and like do something that everyone agrees on. Mm-hmm. Get some good money behind it, some good cinematography, and a fun director, and make us a good My Bloody Valentine. I think it's a good IP for somebody to pick up.
I agree.
I'll do it. You know what? I'll do it.
All right. Well,
I guess.
Come on, universe.
I just got I'll do it. All right. I'll do the My Bloody Valentine. I'm on it. I'm on the case.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
I can't
wait. Cool. So that one definitely wins the Fright fight. So Valentine's horror, there really isn't much. I know there's Valentine's. So we got these up here. We got VHS, the Valentine with Denise Richards.
And some David Boreanaz.
And Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, that's right.
However you say her name.
Yeah.
But God, what else is there for Valentine's horror? There's the new Hard Eyes, and it's really, I can't think of any. I know there's a couple that take place on Valentine's, but they're not as prominent. So you guys, what are some good Valentine horror movies that isn't Valentine or My Bloody Valentine or Hard Eyes that you'd recommend?
Yeah, let us know. I'd like more Valentine's horror. I think that is a great holiday that is not very explored.
Yeah.
For horror movies.
Well, this year we got one, so hey, that's good.
That is good. Let's get some more. Come on, people.
Yeah. So what did you think of My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine 3D?
Yeah, which one do you like? Do you like the original? Do you like the remake? Is that one your favorite?
Yeah. Did you see the remake in the theater with 3D glasses, and how was that experience?
Yeah. Were you like, oh, this is fucking great? Was it blown away?
Yeah. And my question is, if you did see it in the theater with 3D, were the titties in 3D?
Yeah, that's all. We got man butt.
There was man butt.
There was man butt.
Yeah. So that would be my requirement. I would be like, okay, we got a 3D to the titties, we got a 3D the man butt, and then we can 3D some kills, but these are my two. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, well, who wants the gun? Like, like I want 3D titties if we're doing it.
If you're going to fucking do it, give me 3D titties.
Yes,
God damn it.
come on.
A little man butt in there. Yeah.
Yeah, 3D man
Instead
butt.
of a gun just surveying the... Yeah.
Yeah, some silly shit. The title, 3D, who cares? Give me them 3D titties. All right.
And on that note, our Bloody Marys are dead.
So are we.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you later.